So I do want to just quickly add this in before we go into the rest of this video and talk about Dembele, the right back position, Messi, and much more. It does say here, and it is official, that Julian Araujo will not be transferring to FC Barcelona from LA Galaxy. FIFA has ruled this out. The paperwork was filed 18 seconds late, and all parties made their cases. FIFA did not seem like they were convinced, and so it's unfortunate to see that Julian could not come to FC Barcelona. We really needed that extra right back for this season, but it's not gonna happen. And I feel for Julian, because can you imagine what Julian was going through in the past 48 to 36 hours? He's like, am I going to make it to this team or not? We have done all this work, we have done the paperwork, but what is going to go on? Is FIFA going to allow me to go to Europe? Because he is a young player, and every young player that does play outside of Europe, their dream is to always play in Europe. And so again, can you imagine what he was going through mentally in the past 48 hours? But now we have the answers. Xavi Hernández is not going to be getting the player that he does want, and Julian Araujo is not going to be getting the dream move. Again, unfortunate, and especially for us, because we want to see this team get strengthened overall, but that is the final conclusion. Now, let's go into the rest of this video. And again, like I've said before, we are going to be talking about Benjamin Pavard. We're also going to be talking about Kounde, Messi, Dembele. It's going to be a very condensed, compact type of video. So if you guys want to skip to certain parts, like if you guys just want to listen to the part about Messi, everything is going to be organized on the timeline down below. So welcome back to this YouTube channel. Welcome to this Barcelona family. I'm happy that you guys are here. If you guys want to support this channel, please like this video and also subscribe to the channel if you guys want to be notified immediately on whatever's going on in the world of FC Barcelona and football. So let's first talk about Pavard and talk about how this player could be implemented. There's a lot to speak about when it comes to this Frenchman, because there is that whole idea coming from Pavard that he does want to play as a center back, and Barcelona is looking for a right back, and Pavard, to Xavi, Pavard is the answer. So there is two different ideas, and Xavi has already said that he needs a right back, because let's say, for example, one of our center backs do get injured, Kounde can play in the center back position, but then that leaves that big hole on the right side, which is why, again, Xavi Hernández wants Pavard. But Pavard has different ideas. Now, I think that one of the ways we could get Pavard to Barcelona is by basically explaining the system and what we are going to be doing next season. If Pavard does get convinced about the whole system, the whole idea, the philosophy, I do believe that this player will come in. Let's say, for example, we tell this player, look, you're going to be starting as a right back on paper, but we form a 3-2-2-3 system, and you'll be acting as a right center back when Alejandro Balde does go up, and so that satisfies all parties. So assuming Pavard does agree to join Barcelona and he gets what he wants, and also Xavi does get what he wants, most likely our defense next season will be Pavard as the right back on paper, right? Of course, on paper, because everything is going to be shifting and moving during the games, but Pavard is going to be the right back, Araujo as the right center back, and for a very big reason, I will be explaining why, and then Kounde as the left center back, and Alejandro Balde as the left back. And again, if we form that three-man defense and we go into a 3-2-2-3 system, Kounde will be playing as a left center back. This will work because I think that if you place Araujo in the left center back position, I don't think that he will be too comfortable being in areas like that, because you need to be very technical. You are, and Xavi Hernández has also said many times that when it comes to his right center backs and his left center backs, he wants those players to be the most technical to distribute those passes. Kounde can do that. Pavard can do that. Araujo, even though he's not the most technical, I just do not see Xavi Hernández relying on him to distribute those passes on the left side. And you may also question, but Kounde does not really play as a left center back. Yes, he does. Kounde does play as a left center back, and he has been having great performances in those areas. He has done that against Elche, against Victoria Pleasant, against Sevilla this season, against Real Betis recently, right? When we tied 2-2 and went to the penalties, Kounde has been playing as a left center back for a good minute, which is why I do say that Araujo should be the main center back and the one between Kounde and Pavard. You have two technical center backs and one in the middle that will be just ready to take on those defensive responsibilities. He will be that last man on that line. Now, another key point I do want to make is about going back to Kounde. It does say here, according to Albert Rogue, that Kounde is now welcoming the idea of playing as a right back, and he is working on the technical aspects related to the right back position, and he understands it very well. Now, like I've said before, I said this like a few videos ago, Kounde, when he was playing in the World Cup with France, he was phenomenal as a right back. He has everything to be a world-class right back. Like technically, defensively, he has the speed. I cannot really tell you the same thing with Araujo. Like, yes, we see him play very well against Real Madrid, and he knows how to stop Vinicius on the right back position, but as a full-time right back, Araujo is simply just not that player. Like, I still think that he is missing those final third qualities in terms of crossing, 1-2 abilities, and much more. Kounde has all of that. He knows how to cross, he knows how to bring assists. He did that, remember, against Sevilla, providing 2 assists within a span of 90 minutes, which was very impressive. And so if Kounde is truly becoming a player that wants to learn how to be a right back, then another way we could form our defensive line next season would be for Kounde to play as a right back, Araujo and Pavard as the center back duo, and then Alejandro Balde on the left back position. And again, this goes back to what I just said. When we form that three-man defensive line, we would be having Kounde as the right center back, Araujo as the main center back, and then Pavard as the left center back. And then if for some reason it is a necessity for Pavard and Kounde to switch positions, so for Pavard to go into the right center back position and Kounde going into the left, they can do that. You see how like things just become so much more flexible in that defensive line. And so look, Mateo Moreto has also said that Inter have also shown an interest in Pavard, whose priority is to be part of a club where he can play as a center back. And let me tell you, like, just trust me, Barcelona will give Pavard the opportunity to be playing in those areas. It has also been said that Bayern Munich won 30 million euros for Pavard. Neither Barcelona nor any other club is interested in paying such an amount for a player who has 1 year left in his contract. So we know how tough Bayern are going to make it when it comes to this Pavard operation. They did the exact same thing with Lewandowski. Remember last year in the summer, Bayern Munich were like, no, we're not going to accept 45 million euros, 46 million euros, 47 million euros, because Barcelona were giving out those type of bids. They said we want 50 million euros, not even 49 million euros. We want 50 million euros and nothing more. So we'll see what Barcelona does. I think a reasonable price for someone like him would be around 20 to 25 million euros because we're entering his last 12 months of his contract. Now, I'm not trying to like lowball Bayern Munich either. I'm not trying to say that Pavard is not worth more than 50 million euros because we know what he could bring because of his age, his top level experience, and his achievements with both the club and country. But again, it's just going back to how long his contract has been for and how many more months is left in his contract. His value has to be around 20 to 25 million euros. So now let's move on towards the next phase of this video and let's talk about Lionel Messi because there continues to be more reports. Like the one thing that we have been hearing with Messi is that it has stalled, right? Everything regarding PSG and Messi and a renewal, it has stalled. Like nothing is happening. And can you imagine what PSG is feeling right now, especially with the owner? He's probably worried. He's probably like, how are we going to lose Messi now? Because let me tell you, if Messi wanted to stay with PSG, he would have been renewed. He would have renewed right after the World Cup, but nothing has been going on. And according to Gerard Romero, he did say a few points regarding Messi. Point number one, Barcelona says they're ready for all scenarios for Messi's return, the shirts, the tickets, etc. But there is still a long way to go. Jorge Messi, who is the father of Lionel Messi, is very reluctant about Messi's return to FC Barcelona. And lastly, Xavi would be very excited to train Lionel Messi. So as of now, it does seem like Messi isn't in favor of renewing, but that does not mean that he'll not sign a new deal with PSG. So there is a lot going on with Messi. Many are confused. Barcelona have no idea what's going to go on. PSG also have no idea what's going to go on. But let me tell you guys this, and you guys are going to be hearing this first. Messi is waiting. And what is he waiting for? He's waiting to see what Barcelona could do. And Barcelona have to act like right now. Because you just look at what Messi has been doing at PSG. Like I see him in way more vacations. I see him taking way more interviews. It's almost as if this player has already retired. And Messi would definitely not be taking this many vacations nor doing this many interviews if he was at Barcelona, because Barcelona is a serious club with serious ambitions, with serious goals, and Messi does see that. And Messi would actually bond with that type of energy if he were to ever come, which is why I say like he's not going to be in all of these vacations and all of these interviews. At PSG, he can basically do whatever he wants. And I just feel like PSG do not care, which is why I think that this is what separates Barcelona as a club and PSG. So Messi simply wants to join this movement. Like you look at what Barcelona is building. You have Pedri, Gavi, Frankie forming that brand new midfield. Messi wants to be fed by those players. He wants to play with a on-form world-class Dembele. He wants to play with someone like Lewandowski. Can you imagine a front three of Dembele, Lewandowski, and Messi with Pedri, Gavi, and Frankie de Jong? And then our defensive line being Pavard, Kounde, Araujo, and Alejandro Balde with a on-form Ter Stegen. That is a Champions League team, and Messi sees that. Like he's paying attention to what's going on at Barcelona. You better bet that. And about 2 days ago, Messi also had an interview, and this is what he said. I think when I finish my career, we'll start living in Barcelona again. It's my home. I've kept everything from the final, the boots, the t-shirts, everything is there at the FAA property, and now in March, I'll be taking everything to Barcelona where I have all of my things and memories. So like I've said, please, Joan Laporta, Mateo Leman, do everything you can to bring back Messi. Assuming that he does arrive in the summer of 2023, most likely Joan Laporta is going to have to sell Barca TV. They're going to also have to pull a small lever in order to afford someone like him. You may say, and continue to say this, like I have to be honest, you're entitled to your own opinion, but if you're going to think that Messi's going to come over here and like not produce masterclasses, then you're wrong. I'm sorry. Like Messi is the greatest player who has ever lived. You better bet that when Messi does return, he will be giving out a great 2 to 3 years, a strong 2 to 3 years. And especially when you have someone like Xavi Hernández, he will get the best from this player and we will achieve achieve massive success. So the latest regarding Messi and PSG is this: conversations continue between Messi and PSG. Understand, Messi's representatives and PSG's board will also meet in person in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but as of now there is nothing. Everything is stalled. PSG during that meeting will submit their official new bid, the contract length, and the final details regarding his new contract. So we'll see how this does go. Again, I dream of a front three next season for Barcelona to be Messi, Lewandowski, and Dembele. And since we are talking about Dembele, I want to talk about this player very quickly because yes, Barcelona is now acting on Dembele's renewal, which is now going to lead us towards the next phase of this video. Dembele has been taking advantage of his break, unfortunately, right? Because we don't want Dembele to have a break at the end of the day, but he does have one, mainly because he is injured. But during this time that he is out from the field, it says here that Barcelona now moves towards Dembele's renewal. Barcelona has contacted his agent for a meeting to start renewal talks. Both sides want continuity. So again, it's unfortunate to see this player come out, but I'm glad to see that the player wants to take advantage of this time and renew with FC Barcelona. I do think that by the time he does come back, he will be stronger, he will be bigger than ever. And I remember reading this report that did surface about 4 to 5 hours ago coming from the CIES. They have rated Dembele as the best dribbler of 2022, which is like insane, right? Because like a few years ago, he was not even in the top 100, I believe. But now he is beating players like Vinicius as the best dribbler, Kevin De Bruyne as the best dribbler, Kylian Mbappe as the best dribbler, Kounde, Rafael Leao, Bellingham, and many more. This guy has been insane. Now I'm wondering to see like how efficient Dembele has been with his dribbles, because yes, he is the best dribbler, and yes, over Vinicius and many more, but who has been the most efficient? I really do wonder that. But at the end of the day, like, you know, this guy has been improving, and we know what he has been doing with Barcelona. He is our main protagonist in that front three, and yes, I would also say over Lewandowski. So I am so happy for this player. And that will be wrapping up today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.